I was diagnosed with multiple myeloma in March 2020. Walked back to the car, Googled multiple myeloma. Wikipedia says life expectancy 3.5 years. So we decided that we needed to look into CAR T therapy, and it's not something that's done in New Zealand. And I always thought it was an extraordinary figure. You know, I knew it was $1 million in the States, $1 million in Australia. Oh, that's a lot of money. You know, we live in Auckland, we've got a massive mortgage, you know, we've got 3 kids still at home, still got memories I want to make. I don't want to be selfish and just absorb my whole family's content assets. It's tricky, you know. My wife and I flew into Shanghai. You know, Shanghai was not a place, it was on my bucket list of places I really need to see. It felt like an adventure, but on the other side it felt quite scary too. We felt we were going quite early in my relapse. We discovered when I got there that it wasn't as early as we thought. The first 3 days in the Shanghai hospital, we found that my cancer had actually progressed a lot further than we had thought. It had escaped from the bone marrow, where it's normally encapsulated, through bone lesions and was in my body. So that came as a bit of a shock. And it was established that I needed to have bridging chemo before I started the CAR T process. They take your T cells out of your blood and they harvest it and they strip it out and they put the rest of your blood back in. The cells get shipped off to Beijing in a bullet train and they get re-engineered, and they're basically re-engineered to have your cells put back in you and attack your cancer. Very excited. We had the infusion and we were told to expect fevers because that shows you that it's working. So I had a mild fever after a few days, nothing much. And then the regular testing showed the amplification of the T cells started and then died off. And that was gutting. When the second infusion failed, it was some really dark times. I was pretty close to Googling hospices. I thought I was coming home. We spent a lot of money, a lot of other people's money. And yeah, it just seemed that maybe this isn't going to work for me. You know, my friend Stu, he had the similar treatment and he was out in 3 weeks. I was jealous of him a little bit. I was really happy for him. But I felt confident because I knew it worked. It worked for him. According to my wife, who's a financial controller, we're in 250. I got my KiwiSaver pulled out. I got some redundancy, I give a little contributions, which, you know, it's like nearly 500 donations, which is incredible. We've still got fundraising to do, we've got some projects involved, and you know, as a photojournalist for 30 years, you know, it suddenly dawned on me, it'd be great to pull on a few favours from all my friends over the years, people I've worked alongside, colleagues, a lot of really good friends, talented people, wow, inspirational people. And I thought if I could just ask them for 3 or 4 frames each, files, and I'll present an art exhibition. The response has been really humbling. You work alongside people and you just try and be a good friend, colleague, whatever, but it seems that stuff pays off. And it's going to be an amazing exhibition. I'm really excited about it. It's been a lot more work than I anticipated, but I'm enjoying it. It was a great distraction. 8 weeks in hospital, but every day I'd probably spend an hour or two wrangling someone. 32 photographers, graphic designers, all sorts of people have come on board to help me. So we did the infusion for the third time. After a few days, the fevers hit big time. 8 days of rolling fevers. But that meant it was working. And the amplification numbers went boom, and the lumps just disappeared, and the CAR T was doing its job.
It should be over in about half an hour.
Okay.
Ring the bell if you need me.
To go to a foreign country where basically no one speaks English, and to go through that process, I couldn't have got through this without my wife. My wife, Chris, she just blows my mind. You think, someone, we've been married for like 28 years, been together for a lot more than that. Yeah, she saved my life. It's as simple as that.